Welcome to our Bible Story channel. In the days when Israel was governed by judges, the people had turned away from God, worshiping idols and disobeying his commands. As a consequence, the Lord allowed neighboring nations to oppress them. One such oppressor was Eglon, the king of Moab. Eglon was a formidable ruler, known for his cruelty and tyranny. He had conquered the Israelites and ruled over them for 18 long years. Under his oppressive regime, the Israelites suffered greatly, their cries for deliverance echoing throughout the land. God, in his mercy, heard the cries of his people and decided to raise up a deliverer. This deliverer was Ehud, a man from the tribe of Benjamin. Now, Ehud was not your typical hero. He was left-handed, which was considered unusual in those times. However, he possessed courage, cunning, and a deep faith in God. One day, Ehud received a divine calling to confront Eglon and bring about the liberation of his people. With determination in his heart, Ehud set out on his mission. But first, he needed a plan. Ehud knew that he couldn't defeat Eglon by conventional means. The king was heavily guarded, and any attempt to confront him openly would surely end in failure. So Ehud devised a cunning scheme. He crafted a double-edged sword, concealing it on his right thigh, where it would be hidden from view. With his weapon concealed, Ehud set out for the court of King Eglon, pretending to bring tribute from the Israelites. Upon his arrival, Ehud was granted an audience with the king. Eglon, being a proud and arrogant ruler, welcomed Ehud into his presence, eager to receive the tribute from his conquered subjects. As Ehud presented the tribute, he informed Eglon that he had a secret message for him from God. Intrigued, Eglon dismissed his attendants and commanded Ehud to speak in private. Alone with the king, Ehud approached Eglon and swiftly drew his hidden sword with his left hand. With all his strength, he plunged the blade deep into Eglon's belly, piercing through layers of fat and muscle. The force of the blow was such that the sword disappeared into Eglon's flesh, its hilt buried within his body. Ehud left the sword lodged in the king's abdomen and quickly made his escape. Meanwhile, Eglon's attendants, assuming their king was occupied with private matters, waited patiently outside the chamber. Hours passed, and Eglon's absence grew increasingly prolonged. Growing concerned, the attendants unlocked the door and entered the chamber, only to find their king lying dead on the floor, blood pooling around him. Shocked and horrified, they realized that Eglon had been slain by Ehud, the Israelite envoy. Word of Eglon's demise spread like wildfire across the land, striking fear into the hearts of the Moabites. They had relied on their king's iron rule to maintain control over the Israelites, but now their leader lay dead, slain by the hand of an Israelite envoy. In the chaos that ensued, the Israelites seized the opportunity to rise up against their oppressors. Led by Ehud, a man of courage and conviction, they rallied together, their spirits emboldened by the miraculous victory over Eglon. With the help of God, the Israelites waged a fierce battle against the Moabites. Despite being outnumbered and outmatched, they fought with unwavering determination, knowing that victory was within their grasp. The defeat of Eglon and his army marked the dawn of a new era for the Israelites. For 80 years, they enjoyed peace and freedom from oppression, their land no longer under the shadow of Moabite tyranny. Throughout this time, Ehud continued to serve as a judge and leader among his people. His courage, cunning, and unwavering faith in God had brought about a miraculous deliverance, proving that God can use even the most unlikely of heroes to accomplish his purposes.